So this week I wrote about the hardest thing that I've ever watched happen to one of my kids. And I wrote all of it from my side of the room because that's what I know best. But my side is only half of the story. So today I did something that I've wanted to do for a really long time. I asked the person who actually lived it to sit down with me and tell you her half in her own words. So today you're going to hear from my daughter, Grace. Several years ago, I watched her slowly make herself smaller, and it was one of the quietest heartbreaks of my entire life. Today, she's home from her mission in Oslo, Norway, and building her own business, and the light that I was afraid that she had lost is all the way back, and has actually become fuller and brighter because of where she's been and what she's been through and how she's helped other people. So she said yes to doing this, which takes a lot more courage than, well, everything that I do, because she's going to talk about a season that wasn't easy on camera for the whole world to see, just in the hopes that it might be able to help someone else. I'm going to ask her some real questions, and I'm also going to tell her a few things that I'm not sure that I've ever said to her really plainly. And somewhere in here is the truest lesson that I know about the whole thing that this entire month has been about. That's whether you can build a good life and a good business without losing the people that you love inside of it. So let's get into it. Grace, I want to start back in 6th and 7th grade because I think that's when I really first noticed it. From the outside, I watched the hoodies get bigger and the hair go up into that bun, and then it never really came down. And then I watched you get a whole lot quieter. But I only ever saw it from the outside. I want you to really take people inside today. What was actually going on in there? What were you really trying? At the end of the day, what were you trying to do? What was your goal?
There were two sides to what I was trying to do. First, I was trying to hide from the people around me. I spent a lot of time feeling like I was too much in pretty much every single way possible. I was too loud, my hair was too crazy, even that I answered too many questions in class. I felt like I was too much as a whole. And because of how I was feeling about that, I wanted people to stop looking at me. So I tried to take away all of those pieces that were too much and make them disappear into the crowd. The second piece of it that I was that I was trying to hide from myself. I thought maybe the more I disappeared, the more the negative thoughts would disappear too. I didn't want to admit to myself what I was going through or think about the hard things that would have to be done to fix it. So instead I hid.
There was a moment during that time that I didn't fully understand, maybe until later, and maybe not even now, right? But when a teacher put you up for that accelerated program in school, and I think you took one look at the room that night and you decided that you just didn't belong there. So tell me a little bit about that night. Like, what did you see and what did you decide maybe about yourself?
Yeah, looking back in the moment, I think I justified my decision by telling myself that it was my insecurity, saying that I wasn't smart enough. But in reality, I think it was something completely different. I was smart, and I knew I was. That was one of my insecurities, that I was too smart. So that should have been my crowd, right? I should have fit in. In reality, I think I was insecure, that I would never be confident enough. Could I really put myself out there enough to fit in with this new crowd? I was insecure about everything else, so when I was put next to all these other people who had the same intellect as I did, what did I really have to offer? And I thought the answer to that question was nothing, so I backed away before I could be disappointed.
Oh, it's painful. Wow. So I want to get to where this kind of turned for you, right? Because there was one at some point. At some point along the journey, something changed. You stopped trying to be smaller, a safer version of yourself, and you chose a path that was actually yours, which for you was cosmetology, like the uniform every day, all of that. So in your mind, like, what shifted? What made you stop shrinking and started your process of becoming?
Well, it was a process and it has to start somewhere. and this is something that I've asked myself a lot. What flipped that switch? Because I did find my first bit of confidence with cosmetology. And I think it was the first step of trying something different that started the change.
Wow.
And then I didn't look back because I didn't let myself. I went and I gave it everything that I had. And I told myself if I got to the very end of it and it didn't work out, then I could actually rest easy, knowing that I gave it an honest shot with everything I had. And then I put in the work, and each week I showed up, and that shift continued little by little. The shift came in the process of trying something new, day by day, week by week, class by class, and client by client.
Can I tell you what those years felt like or looked like maybe from my chair? Because I'm not sure I've ever really said it to you super plainly or just bluntly. Watching you disappear was probably the most helpless I've ever felt as a father. And I felt helpless as a father a lot of times. But I'd spent your whole childhood seeing this bright, really deeply empathetic kid. And then I had to stand there and watch you decide a little more week by week that the world was safer if there was less of you in it. And the hardest part of all of it was that I couldn't fix it, right? Like I couldn't want you back into a high level of confidence. I could drive you places and I could leave the porch light on and I could talk to you, but the actual the decision that came back to yourself was solely yours to make. And all I could do was like be there for it. And some nights that was really hard. But here's what I want you to hear like now, and it's something that I didn't really understand back then, so I couldn't have said it to you then anyway. I would not trade being there for any of it, right? Like I wouldn't trade out those years for a cleaner story where I only heard about it years down the road. Like getting to witness you disappear and then getting to witness you come back is one of the great privileges of my life personally. And I almost lived a different kind of life that would have handed me both of those as secondhand stories. And that's the thing that I've spent this whole month like trying to say to other people. You're the reason that I know that what I've been trying to teach is true. For a lot of years, I believed that I had to choose between building something great and being present for the people that I loved. I believed that the sacrifice was noble, right? That I was doing it for someone else. Grace, if I had believed that all the way, I would have gotten a report about my daughter who struggled and then was okay. Instead, I got a front row seat to probably the bravest thing I've ever watched a person have to do. And the success would not have been worth the cost of having missed that. And it never is. And you taught me that. And you taught me that without either of us saying a word about business, right? So let me just ask you one more question and then you can be done. You watched me through all of this also in the years where I was just learning what I just kind of tried to explain to you. And I want you to be straight with me on camera for everyone to see. What did you see in me back then? And what would you say to a parent who's maybe sitting in a similar season that we were in, where they're sure that they're doing the right thing for their kids?
Well, first I got really lucky because you were there and you did notice and you tried. Stick with them and be present. If I didn't feel like I had someone who was trying to understand me and wanted to see me succeed and supported me through it all, I actually wouldn't have taken this step. Show them and support them. Encourage rather than push, and put them first. Sometimes you need someone else to put you first to show you that it's okay, that you can do something that would be good for you. I needed to see that. And I needed to see that I had people who truly cared about me to feel like it was okay for me to put myself out there. The last thing I would say would be to lead by example. Show them that you yourself are willing to try something new for you or for your life, and it may give them the confidence that they need to do the same.
Awesome. Grace, thank you. I know that this can be difficult, so I know what it costs you to do this, and I'm really proud of who you are and who you're becoming. Not because you came back, but more about because of how you did it. Here's what I want you watching to take from her way more than from me. The choice that she thought she had to make between being small and being herself, it was never a real choice. And the choice that you think you have to make between your success and the people that you love, it's just the same lie. It just might be wearing a business suit. I got to be in the room for my daughter's hardest years and her best ones. And I got to be there because in the ways that mattered most, I stopped believing that I had to trade one for the other. Everything I learned doing that is in my book, Empowered by Design, along with Grace's story in full, up to date. She's got a lot more to tell. If the business itself is the thing that's pulling you out of these rooms, there's also a workshop link below that is all about fixing exactly that. And both links are down here in this blog article. Go check them out. But the book and the workshop are not the point of today. The point is the person that I was honored to sit with, who is home and more herself than she's ever been, building something of her own. I would have missed that. I'm so glad I didn't. Make sure that you don't miss yours.